Yeah, Gwen, appreciate that introduction. Gwen's been up to our property twice. I think she can see, one of our biggest advantages is the location, the infrastructure. We're right beside a city. It's a mining town, and we get tremendous support from the local community there. They really want to see this happen. I've taken this presentation, I've cut it down. We've talked about lots of targets and things that we've discovered. There's the full presentation on your stick will cover these, but I'm going to just sort of hit the high points because we could be here a long time talking about the targets we have. I mean, our objective is to reestablish Yellowknife as a world-class gold district. It's known as it's one of the main highest grade Archean gold districts in Canada. It's comparable to Kirkland Lake, Timmins. It's explored the same way. It's the same type of geology. We own 100% of the project, 440 square kilometers. We're a first mover. We started in the area when it wasn't popular. We acquired 35 square kilometers. We've now grown it to over 440 square kilometers. And we just announced another acquisition of ground last week. We are adjacent to the Con and Giant mines. The best place to find gold is right beside two past-producing mines. And these are two of the high-grade mines in Canada. Infrastructure, huge for us. It makes it very economical for us to explore, and more importantly, we can explore all year round. We have a highly experienced technical team. We can give credit to them for identifying this opportunity and developing it, much as they've done on prior district scale projects that they've been involved in. And we're early in the discovery phase with multiple targets, which we'll talk about a few today that we'll be drilling shortly. Capital structure, the overview, 107 million shares outstanding as of December 31st. Fully diluted is 121 million shares, cash of 1.3 million. Our shareholder breakdown is management and employees, 11%. Cisco Gold Royalties, our original investor, support of the company, 11%. We've got strategic investors with some good experience in raising capital for these type of projects that have invested in us, as well as institutional shareholding, about 19%, with the balance being retail. And you can see from the chart, as Gwen said, when you don't drill, and all you do is the boring field work, coming up with targets. And I didn't really think it was boring, because we had some great announcements of some new areas and some targets we discovered. But we didn't get credit for that in the market, and then we were beat up pretty well in December in the final stages of tax loss selling. But you can see now things have perked up, and the consensus is the opportunities here, and we are getting ready to get back in drilling. So that can be a big change. When I mentioned the management team, really the credit to this project goes to Joe Campbell, a very experienced geologist, has done everything in the industry through managing and operating mines. He was responsible for discovering Meladine, which is a major project being put into production by Agnico Eagle. He actually introduced it to Agnico Eagle, did the initial work, the pre-feasibility level scoping study. He authored that, and that was the report they used to make a decision to buy the Meladine project, or Complex, the company that owned it, for under $700 million, just under $700 million cash and shares in 2010. And since then, it's been a great success. The quote is from their documents on their website, and they'll be going into production in 2019 with over a global resource of over 11 billion ounces, which is what Joe told them was easily there when they acquired it in 2010. Other individuals of note of Alan Sexton, our Vice President of Exploration. He's the site manager for Yellowknife and was the site manager at Meladine for Joe Campbell. We have Alif Levesque, the CFO of Cisco Gold Royalties, on our board. And we also have two individuals with prior success in marketing companies to corporates, that being Russell Starr and Rennie Carrier. We're involved in Caden Resources, which was acquired by Agnico Eagle in 2014 with no resource estimate, which I think shocked everybody at the time. The Yellowknife City Gold Project. You can see on this slide, this is a geology map. This is a high-grade Archean gold camp. What Joe identified is you want to be on the major break in the camp. You want the mafic volcanics, the greenstones, which are on the west side of the break, and you want the sediments and the felsics. You want everything on the east side of the break, everything with about a few kilometers of the break. And so what we've done is we've acquired all the ground north of the Giant mine, which was being closed and reclaimed in the Con. And we've got the South Belt, south of the Con. North of the Giant, we call it North Belt, very creative. South of the Con mine is South Belt. And the ground we just acquired in January of this year, East Belt, is in the sediments, and that is all the ground to the east of the bay and the major break. And in this area, these two mines, we talk about them as being high-grade gold mines, and they really were. They operated for over 60 years. They produced over 14 million ounces of gold and an average grade of 16 grams a ton. Their cutoff was 10 grams a ton. What we've done was the boring work this summer, the field exploration on the new ground we acquired, because the East Belt was just acquired in January of last year. We wanted to really understand, and for the first time, one company, our company, is able to explore this as one whole complete package, not just having one piece of the belt. You know, if you look at this and you turn this sort of horizontally instead of vertical, that would be the same geology map for Timmins. You know, so what we hear is we have a unique situation where we've assembled a whole district, 45 kilometers of strike, 440 square kilometers of ground, highly prospective with new discoveries from our field work this summer. We won't beat this to death. We're right beside the city. You know, there's a map showing the infrastructure. The other important things we didn't touch on is there's a power dam right on our property. There are power lines going through the property. There are highways going through East Belt. There's road right to our property. It's Tim Hortons exploration. You're going to spend longer in the line at Tim Hortons getting your coffee than you will getting to the property in your pickup truck, and your coffee will still be warm. So, and the guys have proven that. So this is a great spot to be. And for us, it's huge. We don't have camps. We don't have fuel storage. We have the workers work in the city. If we want to drill, we can get it on 2 days' notice. You don't have the logistics, the issues. You can really move fast. And it's really, for us, our drilling costs are half what people are enjoying further north and more remote areas in the north. And we can also drill all year round, and we'll be starting that in the next couple of weeks. We'll talk first about the North Belt system. This is an area where, when we acquired the property, we had the benefit of a lot of historic information on it, and you know, it's quite advanced. I mean, people see the drill results, and there's highlights for drill results of some high-grade intervals here: 8 meters of 60 grams, 5 meter of 62 grams. We won't go into all the details, but the important thing to take away from this is there's about 90,000 meters of drilling. There's 430 holes. We are putting our resource models together on these projects, and this next slide indicates like the models that we're starting to build, the 3D models on the plan view of the North Belt, with Christorum, with our most advanced project to the south, with Barney, high-grade project. It's actually the same structure that hosted the Con and Giant mine. It's called Barney on our property. We've got Sam Otto and Miss Pickle. Sam Otto in the felsic volcanics and Miss Pickle in the sediments to the right. So these are quite advanced. And you can see with field work, what we've done is we've extended the strike of Sam Otto to the south quite a bit, and also, well, 3.5 kilometers, and Walsh Lake structure, which hosts Miss Pickle, 2.7 kilometers to the north. So we are going to be back working in, I can't say too much, but we're working on obviously putting models together and developing this. And that's what's been done, one of the things we've been working on this summer, as well as analyzing all the rest of this data. These are long sections showing what we show this slide for, and the purposes. You can see the Con and Giant mine, the blue images to the left, and then you can see our properties to the right. We are just scratching the surface. This camp historically, the gold in the Con and Giant, 80% plus of their ounces was mined deeper, and it was higher grade. And we're fortunate what we have now is basically coming out of the ground at surface, but there's plenty of opportunity of depth, and a lot of these projects, such as Christorum, hasn't been drilled below 100 meters, which is why we don't put out a resource estimate, because they're still open, you know, north, south on all the structures and at depth. The Walsh Lake, this is sampling from Miss Pickle, our discovery in 2016. We had the highest grade the drill hole in Canada in 2016, according to Northern Miner, 8 meters of 60 grams. And that area is not just one drill hole. It's not a one-hit wonder. We've got 47 holes into it, and we're starting to build a resource model. And this slide indicates, for example, a cross-section of where the 8 meters of 60 grams came from, where we started at a trench at surface. We drilled based on that, 6 meters of 7 grams. It's wonderful to be in an area where your mineralization comes out of the ground, as Gwen says, and as she's seen when she's been there. And we've taken that and we followed a number of drill patterns down to about 200 meters, you know, and still, it could still go deeper. And it's still open along strike. Sam Otto is a bulk tonnage target. We think there's tremendous size on this project. We've only drilled it over 750 meters, but with surface work, we've extended another 3.5 kilometers south to Sam Otto South on Screamer Island, which is a great name. And we had some good high-grade samples from surface there. Ryan Lake, this is a porphyry that's right beside Christorum. That's why we mention it's the Ryan Lake target you'll see in the slide, first slide on North Belt. I mean, this is all part of the same system. The Christorum structure is about 100 meters from mineralization we found along the edge of the lake of high-grade gold, and of which about 3 kilometers of the 3.8 kilometers that was sampled is also corresponds with high-grade moly. East Belt, some new discoveries, but I'm running out of time, and I'll let you get to those on the stick after. Some great results here, and we acquired more land, so we cover all the structures that we've discovered. Catalyst moving forward, we did a district-wide exploration program. We've done all the proper work a corporate would like, and Joe Campbell's experience. He's used to working with a large company. He's used to having more money than a junior, and he's used to having all this work done before you start drilling. So he was happy to get all this done, and it really helps us understand and target moving forward. And we will be drilling. The drills will be turning later this month. And thank you for your interest.